Welcome, church leaders, pastors, and ministry leaders. This presentation will explore how strategic organizational development and leadership principles can empower your ministry for sustainable growth and profound impact. Church Leadership and Organizational Development Overview, referencing The Church Leader's MBA by Mark Smith and Managing Church Crisis by David Cale. First, rethink church as an organization. Acts 2:46, 47, Matthew 14:13, 21, 1 Corinthians 3:6. God's will for the church. Growth that is numerical, spiritual, and impactful. Church effectiveness. Smith and the Church Leader's MBA emphasizes balancing spiritual leadership, administration, and business acumen. A church that ignores structure risks stagnation. The feeding of the 5,000 in Matthew 14 illustrates that organization and order amplify spiritual power. Key reference. Smith argues that churches that manage themselves like high-impact organizations can expand reach without losing spiritual essence. Second, organizational leadership. Leadership styles. According to Smith, leaders must move between directive, participatory, and servant leadership depending on the context. Systems and structures. Healthy churches create clear reporting systems, accountability models, and ministry units. Growth in substructures. Smith shows that as organizations expand, substructures like departments and small groups are required to prevent burnout and confusion. Key reference. The Church Leader's MBA teaches that systems sustain growth. Leadership is not just charisma but the ability to build frameworks. Third, strategic planning. SWOT analysis. Smith introduces SWOT as a tool to assess internal strengths and weaknesses and external opportunities and threats. Branding and marketing. Churches must communicate identity. Smith highlights branding as a strategic tool for outreach and trust building. Evaluation through research, audit, and feedback. Data-driven decisions are crucial. Smith calls for audits, surveys, and metrics to measure ministry effectiveness. Key reference. Smith stresses that vision without execution is hallucination. Strategy ensures sustainability. Fourth, financial planning. Accounting and finance. Transparent reporting maintains trust. Smith insists churches adopt business-grade accounting practices. Budgeting both short and long-term, budgets must align with mission priorities. Increasing giving. Smith recommends financial literacy training so members understand stewardship. Ministry investments using SWOT. Investment decisions should be prayerful, but also strategic. Fifth, postmodern church and technology advantage. Information age. Smith highlights that churches ignoring technology risk irrelevance. Skillful church management. CRM tools, data analytics, and online giving are part of modern management. Technology tools. Social media, live streaming, and mobile giving extend impact beyond physical walls. Sixth, membership growth and management. Exodus 18:13, 23, Nehemiah 2:17, 18. Value-added retention. Members remain when churches create systems that equip, mentor, and value them. Team ministry. Leadership must be distributed, following Moses and Jethro's advice. Recruitment. Properly placing people based on strengths, passions, and weaknesses. Seventh, managing church crisis. David Cale. Managing church crisis. Be prepared. Cale stresses proactive planning. Churches must develop contingency and communication plans. Warning signs. Decline in attendance, financial gaps, unresolved conflicts. Cale identifies these as crisis triggers. Spiritual approach. Prayer, fasting, repentance. Crisis as a spiritual wake-up call. Psychological approach. Cale emphasizes counseling, mediation, and addressing emotional trauma. Restructuring and rebranding. After crisis, Cale insists churches rebuild trust, restructure systems, and refresh identity. Conclusion. Smith and the Church Leader's MBA provides a framework for church leaders to think like organizational executives while staying rooted in spiritual mission. Cale and Managing Church Crisis equips leaders to anticipate, identify, and recover from crises with wisdom and resilience. Together, they present a roadmap. A church must be spiritually strong, organizationally sound, financially wise, technologically relevant, and crisis prepared.